Good morning, half-assed travelers. Today we're coming to you from Hershey, Pennsylvania, from America's largest RV show. And today we're taking a look at a couple more Class Cs, compact Class Cs from Grand Design. If you've been watching our videos, you might remember last year we did a review when Grand Design came out with the Lineage Series M. It was a brand new RV, it was state-of-the-art, and it was their first delve into the Class C market. Well, we're going to be taking a look at two today. Two different floor plans. The first one we're going to look at is a 2025 model, but then we're also going to be looking at a 2026.
Hey there, I'm Rose.
And I'm Dan. And we are the Half-Assed Travelers.
The first unit we're going to be looking at is the 2025 Lineage 25 FW, and we're going to start on the outside. Now, the first thing we noticed last year when we saw the RV was the detailing and the graphics on the outside. It's kind of interesting. We haven't seen this before, this light blue stripe. I kind of like it. This is black underneath, but it kind of seems like it's got a blue tinge, and maybe that's just because of the proximity to the light blue line. But whatever it is, we're liking it. It pops, right, Rose?
Right.
Yep. Now, the Lineage is built on the Mercedes 4500 chassis. Now, the 4500, while beefier and a little more stable feeling, it actually is a little heavier, so it's going to have an impact on the cargo capacities, which we'll put on the bottom of the screen, and also the towing capacity. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes a lot of people think that just because it's a 4500, it's going to be able to pull more. That's not necessarily the case. And certainly not in this case, as you can see by the numbers. All right, let's take a look behind these doors. I have a feeling I know what this is. And Rose, I think you know what it is too. One of your favorite features.
Yes, it is.
The outdoor TV, perfectly placed in what we call the living area on the passenger side of the coach. Really nice. It's underneath this big Girard awning that runs the entire length of the box. Now this I bet you can't guess what's in here. It's marked propane, and sure enough, there's your propane tank and a little bit of a storage area, and that looks like a Freedom X 1800 inverter. You've got a controller here for the Rockford Fosgate stereo system, and it's in a great place because this is where you're going to be sitting if you're hanging out outside and for the music coming out of these speakers. You've got exhaust for your cabin heater, a propane tank fill, and very useful, you've got a twin 120 volt plug on the side. And then there's one more container, but we got to go around behind this sign. We are at a show after all, so there's signage everywhere. Okay, here we have a pretty large storage compartment. It goes pretty deep back there. Let me see if I can reach in and show you. There it is, all the way to about there. Is that a good measurement?
Yeah.
I think I can measure that in cubits. All right, let's move around the back. One thing we noticed with these new compact Class Cs is on the rear, and we noticed it with the Newmar Freedom Air, that they're making them look kind of like these high-end Class A units from the back. Like if you were driving up behind this, you might mistake it for one of those Class A's. It's beautiful. All right, we got another compartment under here. This is where all of your water hookups are. You can see your fresh drain tank, your black drain tank, and your gray drain tank. Now, you don't really see a lot of times a fresh tank drain, but it's nice that they put it there. So when you're winterizing the coach or you're doing your kind of season disinfecting of the systems, that makes it a lot easier than having to climb underneath and unscrew that. There's an outdoor shower, and also you've got your sewer hose port right here. Let's talk about this slide, because you can see there's a little bit of a cutout here. It's kind of like a slide, 3/4 of a slide. But one thing we do like, and we're going to see it when we go inside, you see this window in the side of the slide? That's one thing we're missing in our Wayfarer, and we really miss it because this is a great feature. It brings in a lot of light, and it helps you to bring the outdoors in when you're inside. And you're going to see that when we get in there. Underneath the cutout, a rather large storage container, as well as a holding pipe for your sewer hose. And that's nice to have because you don't want that icky sewer hose intermingling with anything that you're storing in your outdoor cabinets. There's another really large storage compartment right in front of that one. And then I'm going to run over here and I'm going to show them this storage compartment. Actually, this is the generator. Okay. That's an NPS 4500 liquid propane generator. And on the driver's side, you can see you've got this step here. A little bit of a molded step, make it easier to get in and out. And on the slide itself, you've got a little mini door here, and this is a little mini storage. And I think if I reach up inside, a lot of times you can get a pass-through to the inside. I don't know if that is. When we go inside, we're gonna check that to see if that is a pass-through. But let's go inside. You ready, babe?
Ready.
Let's do it. All right, before we go in the door, I just wanted to point out one thing. This latch down here on the door, you can't hardly see it because of it's dark. Oh, there we go, I got it out of the way. But actually, when you open the door, it comes over here and there's a clasp, so you can actually lock the door in the open position, and that's a good feature. We like the grab handle here, plenty easy to operate. Look at how thick this door is. All right, it's got a plastic insert on the inside. You got some storage options here. You got a few small shelves, and then you've got a window that has a screen that you can pull up. That's one thing that we wish we had on our Wayfarer, was a screen over the window. Now, you'll notice there's no screen door. Well, the screen door is not in the usual place. In these units, the screen door is actually on the side. You just pull it over here. We really like that feature. We would love to see that feature added to other Class Cs, because sometimes that screen door flapping around just gets in the way, and this seems like a really great alternative to that. So well done, grand design. We like that. Up under the steps, take a look at this. This is your lithium batteries, 2 of them, and all of the controllers for that, hydraulic pump, generator, a bunch of electrical stuff that I can't pronounce. We're gonna go on in, but before we do, take a look to the left as you come in, Rose. You see the battery switch and a bunch of controls for the unit, including the auto leveling system. There's a grab handle here for ease of getting in and out, and also a fire extinguisher. Let's talk a little bit about the way you get in and out of the driver's compartment. Now, both the seats are in the kind of reverse position, but this is a heck of a step coming down. You can see it goes halfway up my shin. That's about 12 inches of a step. That's the largest step we've seen on any of these units. And when you're sitting in these chairs, your feet are kind of up. There's like, you know, I feel like a little kid when I was on a mini chairs. So that's kind of different, but actually it is comfortable. So I'm digging it. A lot of times these things will come with cushions, and this might, I just don't see them. Cushions that go on these seats to raise you up to a point where you could use it like a regular chair. Now this is on the Mercedes chassis, as I mentioned before. This is the 2020, well, this is the newer chassis actually. If you look up in the front, Rose, show them that feature, because that may be something they haven't seen before. All right, up in the front, what looks like a vent up there, that is venting, but that's not part of the air conditioning system. That is an anti-collision system. There's a camera and radars up there that will alert the car if you're getting ready to hit something, and it takes appropriate action to avoid collisions. Always a good thing, especially when you're driving around half fast like we are most of the time, right, Rose? Yeah, but the rest of the cabin is the same. It's pretty standard off the Mercedes. However, look at the mirror. We don't have this in our Mercedes. And it looks like there's a video camera in here. So there's a video camera system right in. So they're not using this screen, they're using the screen here for the what looks like the backup camera. That's a neat feature. Ow. Okay, I just caught that. Be careful on that step. All right, let's talk about this area over the driver's compartment. You can see they've got the ladder up here, and this is the shade for the windows, and this cushion. This cushion comes over here, put it on here to make the bed. Pretty standard stuff. Moves out of the way so you can easily access the driving compartment. What we like about this is something we wish we had in ours, and that's this big, huge window. So much light in here. The power is not on right now at the show, and still, as we're doing the video, you'll see there's plenty of light in here without a single LED light or anything like that on. Over here on the side, you've got 120 volt plugs, USB A and C. Also, a storage shelf. Let's see what's up there. Oh yeah, just storage. There's a cup holder here, and there's also a reading light up there. Let's see if they have the same on the other side. They most certainly do. So there's one on either end. You got a bunch of your light switches here, and also a shade control. That shade is automatic. So you just have to hit a button, open, close the shade. You got 120 volt plugs over here. It's good to have these 120 volt plugs near your sleeping areas in case you're somebody who needs a CPAP machine or something like that. It's always good to have those outlets near the bed. Let's take a look at the floor plan. This particular unit in the driver's side slide has a dinette. This is also available with theater seating and recliners. We're partial to the recliners unless we can get both in the unit. This one has, it's not a U-shaped dinette, but it does have these cushions on the side. And I didn't really mention the seats up front, but it's the same leather here. This is very soft leather. It's really nice. These seats are comfy. They're not too soft where you're hitting the board on the bottom. I'd say they're just about right. Usually we complain when these cushions don't rise high enough, but this isn't bad. It's okay. And the one thing I really like about this dinette is when you're sitting in this seat especially, you have this window on the side, but you also have that window. Remember we pointed it out, the window in the slide? Well, this has one on the front as well. And that's a great thing because I can see about 90 degrees out of the coach, which is it's a good viewpoint from here. It's a lot better than if you didn't have that window on the side, then you would only have this 45-degree pie that you're looking at. It's got up-down shades. This is the bug screen. And then underneath, you got your privacy shade. And we like this metal framing around it. There's no valance here. We don't need a valance. It looks fine the way it is. You got light switches up here. You've got 120 volt plugs up underneath, as well as a USB A and C. That's out of the way. So you can, if you're using a laptop or whatever, you can just plug it in right there. No cords in the way. They will be hanging down, but they're not in your way. So, and if you're working, who cares, right? There's drawers underneath the seats in the dinette. Like those. You see that pop out? That is a latching mechanism so the drawer won't open, but it also serves as the handle to pull the drawer open. And look at how long these drawers are. Wow. Let's see. 1, 2. That's about 3 feet long. That is a substantial drawer. It looks like it runs the entire length of the seat. Let's see if they do the same thing over here. Oh yeah, look at that. That is a nice drawer. Now these drawers are quality. Look at the side, hon. What do we call that? Dovetail. Dovetail joints on the drawers. These cabinets are really nice, and we like that they latch so they're not coming up while you're driving down the road. Always a plus. While I'm looking at it, look at the floor, hon. What do you think about this? Now,
I don't like it.
we've seen similar design where it was kind of like a thatch almost, but this is just flat. This is like a linoleum. We kind of like those faux wood tile looking things. And even the faux tile, we are preferential to this. It's not really our favorite flooring. But again, we're nitpicking. There is an LED light strip right over here over the valance around the slide, but we don't have power, so we can't show you that. All right, let's talk about the cabinet behind the dinette. Again, ooh, more slide-out drawers inside the cabinet. Soft close, really high quality, like the hinges. It does have a clasp to close, similar to the other. And what's underneath? Oh, more drawers. So this has got to be clothing storage. We're across from the kitchen, yes, but I don't think this is a pantry. Oh, but there is more clothing storage, so who knows? And there is storage over the dinette, which I'm going to show you now. Wow. That is a strong hinge on that door. Sometimes with these strong hinges, you got to be careful because you're always worried about separating the hinge from the door. And if the hinge is too loose, it rattles. If the hinge is too tight, you risk that. But it seems like these, the material here is a composite material. And I don't think you're going to have an issue with the screws coming out of those. Let's take a look at the kitchen, shall we? Let's talk about this kitchen because I think that's where this unit really shines. I like the design of this kitchen, Rose. Do you? Mm-hmm. It's very modern. It's got the white. We like the white cabinet tops. And we've got this extension. Rose always loves a good extendable countertop in the kitchen. Give you that extra space to work. It's really nice. Also, look at this. That's a cutting board. I'm trying to put it in the light here. There we go. That's a wooden cutting board that goes across the sink. That gives you more options. And look at the sink. It's pretty large. And what is this here? You remember we've seen this before? You remember what that is, Rose?
A cup cleaner?
Yes, that is a glass washer. It shoots up water into the glass when you push it down. Whoop. You just push it down and it shoots up water in the glass and cleans glasses. What a great place to put it. You know, it's kind of out of the way, but it's really handy. Useful, very useful. And what do you think of this faucet? Do you like the square? It looks good. I don't know how it would be functionally, but it does swing out of the way, so you have a lot of space there. Also, you've got this window with the up and down shades behind that too. A double burner gas cooktop with a vent fan over top and light. Fan and light with the switch right there. Underneath, microwave. Standard size microwave. This is a gray stone cooktop, by the way. And a Furrion microwave. Drawer under the microwave. You got a few drawers here. Let's see, is this a sponge drawer? Yep, sponge drawer here. And then more of these dovetail drawers. All of them soft close, all of them with a latching mechanism. And you got storage. We would probably put our garbage can right under there, right, Rose?
Yeah.
You betcha. You betcha. Up over the sink, this is where they chose to place the TV, directly across from the dinette, or if you chose the theater seating, which is perfect. And then over the vent fan, another storage compartment. We'll call those pantries. And moving back, wow, look at this refrigerator. All right, this has a nice shiny finish to it, but it's black. Is that black?
That's black.
It's black. Okay, so you've got a double door in the top, and you've also got, this looks like a drawer. It is a freezer drawer. I think we're kind of partial to that freezer drawer, aren't we? Yeah, you can fit a lot in here. And look at the cute, I always point out the cute little, why do they do this? Would you ever use this? Come on. I think they just do it to be funny. All right, but it is a Furrion fridge, and it's beautiful. You got a vent underneath, so no drawer under the fridge. All right, now we're standing in the bed area. Now this is what appears to be a pedestal bed. Yes, it is. Now let's see if there's any storage underneath, because we always are fascinated to see what they do with these. And I see a hinge there, so let's see. What do we got, Rose? Ah. Yes, oh wow. That is a large storage area under the bed. And if you look down there, guess what that black thing is under there? That's the door to the outside. So this is a pass-through. So you can actually load it in from the outside and access it from the inside. And that's a plus. So when the slide goes in, this bed just pops up like this. I imagine you can leave the bedding on it. When the slide comes in, it just gets out of the way so you can still access the bathroom. We already talked about this window from the outside, but just look at it. Now there's no window at the head of the bed, but this brings in so much light, and it actually brings light into the whole coach, whereas if it was over on that side, it would be blocked by that. So it's not bad, we like that. And also, it has those same up-down shades, so if you wanted to leave the windows open, you would still get a cross breeze with the rest of the windows in the coach. There's cabinets up over top, they're all pretty much a standard, and it goes all the way through. I'm not going to go climbing on the bed, but you get the idea. It is a queen size bed, a very soft and thick mattress, very comfortable. You got reading lights overhead. And let me see, is there any power? Let me take a look, see. You see any, Rose? Maybe it's on the side. That's important. Again, we were talking about the CPAP machine. Okay, I see it. I see it. Rose, can you reach all the way around and show them that little, there is a little alcove there that's got 120 volt plugs in the back. Okay, so your CPAP goes right there. Good to know. Behind me is where all the clothing storage is. Same handles, pop out handles. Look at the size of this wardrobe.
Gee whiz.
That's a biggie. That is a good size wardrobe. And then underneath the left side of the wardrobe, you've got two drawers. And they're pretty good size. They pull out all the way to the bed. I know it's a little dark back here. We don't have lights again, but yep, they pull out some good storage. And then right here below the right side, there is one more drawer. Oh, wait, it's got some kind of cover on it. Oh, okay. Must be the sock drawer. And the unmentionable drawer, maybe that's why they have a cover over it. All right, and you also got a flat panel TV, altitude or attitude TV, and controllers for the lights in the coach. All right, last thing we got to see. What does this look like to you, Rose?
Bathroom.
It's a corner bath. We have mixed feelings about corner baths. Let's see how they did it. Maybe they did it better than some of the others. I'm going to fold up the bed and get it out of the way so I can open the door wider. Look at this door handle. It's square.
Everything's square.
Okay, all right. No window in the bathroom, but there is a skylight and a vent fan. I'm going to go right for the shower. Let's see how the height is. 6'1" with my sneakers on, and no problem height-wise. It is that standard rectangular shower we see in a lot of Class Cs. It does have our favorite shower door. That's retractable. We love that. And also it's got a really nice setup here for your shower and this nice shelf. It's metal and it's pretty sturdy. So very nice. We like this. Look at that shower head. Pretty cool. Everything's very lightweight, but it looks nice. They've done a good job about that. This is looking like a porcelain toilet. Let me test it. Yep. Plenty of room here. No problems. Got the armrest even. And the toilet paper holder is here. And there's also 120 volt plugs here on the back. So you got storage cabinets here. Probably for extra TP and towels and such. And then another storage compartment, a big one, under the bathroom sink. Smallest sink, but what kind of sink do you need in the bathroom? And then a decent sized corner medicine cabinet with a mirror attached to the front. And look at that, another square towel rack. So they're going square. They're going square. Towel rack and a couple here. Yeah, really nice. Got LED light up top. You know, as corner bats go, we don't normally like them, but this one's not bad. There seems to be a lot of space in here. One more thing we want to talk about is look up. Look at the ceiling. Rose, the ceiling's padded. I mean, it's way high where we're not even at risk of coming near hitting it with our heads, but they still padded it. It looks really nice, probably very easy to clean. Here's your AC unit, but it is all ducted throughout the unit. Rose has a fan right above her head, and there are these LED light fixtures as well as speakers in the ceiling. And we like that. Look at these vents are different. These vertical, well, vertical or horizontal depending on your outlook, but yeah, really nicely done. I'm digging this design, a grand design, of course. Came up with a great design in this unit. Overall, we like the floor plan. We probably would have done theater seating. We are partial to a Murphy bed. We like our Murphy bed, but having the pedestal bed gives you a lot of storage underneath. We're kind of limited. We have a couch under our Murphy bed. That storage space is nowhere near as large as the one under here. And sometimes these pedestal beds give you opportunity to put a thicker mattress on there because the bed doesn't have to flip up. On the downside, you have to flip that mattress in half, and sometimes that messes up your bedding. So it's a trade-off. You have to decide what is more important to you. There is plenty of room in here. It is wide open, airy. There's a reason that these floor plans are the most popular floor plans on these compact Class Cs, because it feels like it's bigger than it actually is. The size of this coach, just over, or about 25 feet, and yeah, they use every bit of space maximized that they possibly can, and it looks even bigger. Right as we were finishing up our video, we got a visit from the folks here at the show, and guess what? They turned on the lights. So we get a chance to show you the LEDs in action. This is that LED I was talking about over the dinette. There's a matching one over the bed, and then these fixtures here are throughout the coach. So yeah, there's a lot of lighting in here. Well, they had the radio on and it was sounding pretty good. We were jamming in here. But yeah, we just wanted to show you that. All right, now we're gonna take a look at another floor plan, and it's gonna be a 2026 model this time. Let's take a look. All right, now we're taking a look at the brand new model. This is the 2026 Lineage 25TK. It's a bit different from the other one. I mean, the styling, it's completely different color. The graphics are very similar, different colors, but take a look at the rims. On the last unit, it had chrome rims. If you watched our channel, you know we love a good black rim. It just looks so meaty. It's almost making it look like it's made for the off-road. So yeah, we're digging that. This awning on the outside is huge. It runs from front to back of the box, similar to the last one we looked at, which is good because this unit, like the last one, also has the TV compartment. That's an Attitude TV, and I don't think they could have fit a bigger TV in there if they tried. That is the largest that fits in this compartment. And guess what? We have a special guest. I see him walking up. Matt loves to crash the party, doesn't he? All right, we had to take a little break there to say hi to Matt. If you don't follow Matt's RV reviews, you really should. He's really fun. He's a great guy. And he seems to stalk us at these shows. He's always popping up at the least opportune moment, but that's great. We appreciate it. Thanks, Matt. All right, back to our review. We have the speakers here for the Rockford Fosgate system and a large storage bin. This is where the propane tank was on the last unit. You get a lot of storage here. Your 120 volt plugs moving back. Now here's where they put the propane. Ask me how I knew that. And here's the propane fill. Ta-da! As Matt says, ta-da! Oh, what is this? I think I know what's under here. Wow. Oh, wow. Look at that. All right, let's test the weight capacity.
It's an in-law apartment.
Yes. Let's test the weight capacity. Okay. All right, it passes. If it can hold my bunk. All right, my bulk. Oh, wow. All right. This is a huge, huge storage compartment. They call it a garage. You can put bikes in here. You can put kayaks in here. It's got this tie-down system that is very easy to operate. It's just like a push-button system. See that? And these things you can put them wherever you need them. So, and I broke it. No, I didn't break it. So yeah, this system is great, and it's holding my weight. And you can see the reinforcement on the back. The metal's all here. We love these big garages. It just gives you so many storage options. Over here on the driver's side, you have got the other end of that massive storage compartment, as well as your water hookups and a outdoor shower, tank flushes. Now right inside there, you can see that's where they put the fresh tank drain on this one. It doesn't have that same system we saw in the last, but it does have access to the water pipes back there. That's handy when you're winterizing. All right, you've got your exhaust for your cabin heater and your water heater, and your umbilical for shore power, as well as an unthreaded freshwater potable water fill for your tank if you don't have access to a threaded connection or you want to fill from containers. Also, it's handy when you're disinfecting the tanks, because you can pour the bleach right in there. You got a sewer hose here, like we saw in the last unit. There's the sewer hose connection. Let me go down there and open these compartments. Okay, I'm not going to open these compartments because that one appears to be locked. All right, let's check this one. That one's not locked. That's the generator. NPS 4500. Liquid propane generator. Rose, you ready to go inside and take a look at this floor plan?
I sure am.
All right, let's do it. All right, see, appears to be the same door we had in the last unit. Same setup underneath the steps. Everything appears to be the same. Still has the sliding screen door. Okay. This one actually has the theater seating. Let's go right here, because this is the first thing you're going to see when you come in. Otherwise, except for Rose fixating on the extra countertop on the kitchen, because that's what she does. But look at this. Now, this unit has a shorter slide. The bedroom is not part of the slide, but that allows them to put windows on both sides of the slide and the back. So when you're sitting in these chairs, you can see 180 degrees around you. It is a really good field of view, helps you bring the outdoors in, and oh my God, they're comfortable. There's a nice soft leather here that matches the leather up there in the driving compartment. And yeah, these are just, it's a very beautiful thing. They're electric recliners. They've got switches. Let's see if they're even on. Oh, gotta test this. All right, let's see what they look like, fully reclined. How's my head? Oh yeah, perfect. Pretty big. Thanks, hon. Appreciate you. All right, it's got the same windows in the last unit, the up-down shades, the awning style. We like the good awning style window. It's also got the same 3 storage bins up over top like we saw in the dinette. So I'm assuming in this model as well, the dinette is an option, but this one just happens to have the theater seating, which we prefer. Up here in the driver's compartment, Rose is pointing out something very neat. What is this, Rose? What is that? That looks like a headrest safe. Have you ever seen that before? No. There's a safe in the headrest. Look.
Oh, that is so
Look at that. It's magnetized to this, but I would call that probably wallet, a gun safe maybe even, for legal reasons. But yeah, some of you like to carry your firearms with you. Handgun could fit in there, no problem. This has the bed over top with that same window, pretty similar to the last unit. In fact, I think it's identical other than color. Very nice, very sturdy, and there's a lot of space up there. I don't know, it's not that long, so for kids probably better than for adults. Let's take a look at the kitchen. The kitchen's not going to take us long because it appears to be identical to the last one, right, Rose? I don't see anything different. All the cabinets appear to be the same, except this one's full of stuff. That's what it looks like when you fill it. Same latching cabinets. Same sink, same faucet, same cup washer. This has a dual burner. Yeah, I think this was the same. This is the Envision. Was it an Envision in the last one? I don't remember, but this is the dual burner cooktop. Furrion. microwave. Underneath, you've got the fuse and breaker box, and the same venting over the cooktop, as well as another cabinet up here, and the Attitude television. And is this the same? Looks similar. Yeah, I think this is the same refrigerator. The 3-door with the slide and freezer. Oh yeah, and they've got the cute little ice tray in there. We're liking that. That's really nice. Oh, there is a drawer underneath. Oh, okay. That's not a drawer. Okay. In my usual way, I leave a path of destruction behind me. Okay, so this is a cover plate that allows the mechanical access to the systems if you need to do work. I didn't break it. It goes right back on. So relax, Rose. Relax. But it does latch on. But I'm going to leave it there for right now so I can continue the video. Now, I want to talk about something because look what I'm standing on. Do you see this? This is very interesting. I've never seen this before, but I'm thinking that these boards are covering a drain. Let me see if I can get it up. There you go. All right, so you see that? That is the shower drain. This is the shower. How can they put a shower in the middle of the floor plan, you might be asking?
Wait a minute. Right next to the refrigerator?
Right next to the refrigerator. Well, I guess if you need a drink while you're in the shower. I don't know. But yes, I'm standing in the shower. There is a toilet over here.
Look
Yeah.
over your head.
There is a vent. Yeah, look. Here's the rainfall shower head. Right over my head. So how do they keep from getting everything wet? Well, check this out. Bye, Rose.
Wow.
All right, give me the camera. I want to show them how much room I have in here. Okay, I'm gonna take the camera from Rose so I can show you. Look at the room, the space that you have to take a shower. I think this is the biggest shower. This is even bigger than ours. Biggest shower I've seen in a compact Class C, by far. Very interesting system. You can see the metal track going along there, and also on the bottom, you can see the drains. So the water's not going out into the coach, it's going into the drain at your feet. Very interesting system. I've never seen this before, Rose. Can you remember ever seeing something like this? No, this is new. Grand Design is doing their Grand Design again. We like the control for the shower head. It's not only got the rainfall shower, but it also has the shower wand. And also a metal, that's metal, medicine cabinet. You got a smaller sink. That's odd. The sink is plastic, but the medicine cabinet's metal. But this pedestal is also metal. And that's going to be more durable because this stuff is going to get wet. Technically, this is a wet bath because the toilet and the sink and everything are in the shower with you. So technically it's a wet bath, but man, what a large wet bath. So think of it as a wet bath with a dry bath shower. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move to the back, past the bathroom. All right, now this is reminiscent of the setup we've seen in the Winnebago Echo and the Condor and the Granite Ridge. This has the two opposing beds in the back, upraised over the garage. All right, so they're kind of doing a hybrid here. They're hybriding between compact Class C and what some people call a B+ in the Echo and the Granite Ridge and Condor, and now the Open Trail. Open Trail or Cross Trail? All right, you can see when I pull this down and fold it down, it turns into, we call it mega bed. This is the megaest bed I've ever seen. It goes the entire width of the box. You could sleep either way you want, or you can leave this thing up and have two separate sleeping areas. It does have the cup holders here. Also, you see this? That's a great thing if your partner likes to snore. Put the head up, but also if you're using this area as a hangout spot, you can just sit back here, read a book. You got a cup holder. Put your head up. Now, there's windows on both sides. That's great. You get that cross ventilation. These are awning windows. You've also got a lot of storage overhead. There's shelves here, and there's a lip on them over here, too. And then you've got the cabinets over top. Those are interesting looking doors, too, right? All part of the design. And you can see how strong those hinges are. And they're latching. We like that. There's also, you see the 120 volt plug over there, as well as the USB A and C. Same thing on this side, and the reading lamps. Also, flat panel TV right here, and the light switches for the lights. Under the beds, this is pretty nice. Look at the size of these drawers. These drawers are probably as big or maybe even bigger than the drawers we saw in the first unit in the back underneath that wardrobe. No drawers on this side. Oh, wait a minute. It says discover extra space. What is this?
Whoa.
Oh, wow. All right, so that's great. Kind of a divider here. There is actually, what is that? You see these? All right, this is something. This has got to be something. Those little wands there. If we can find out what that is, we'll let you know. But it's kind of neat. Now, this side doesn't come up because you have the drawers underneath. But that is great to have that extra storage. And, of course, you're not going to have that here because this is above the garage. You got a vent fan up here, and Rose has found the pantry. There it is, right next to the refrigerator. I almost missed that one. Thank you, Rose. LED light strips, LED lights, fans. We've got behind the shower, you've got more stuff on the ceiling. You've got the, Rose is being careful because there is a step here. We should probably mention the step because we call this the Widowmaker. If you forget this step is here, you could have a bad day. So normally we don't like to see a step, but obviously we understand why it's there because they had to be able to fit all the drain stuff underneath the floor. So we get that. As promised, we solved the mystery of those little things in the back. Underneath this storage, you'll see this looks like a clothing rack. That's because it is. You put your hangers here, the clothing on that, and then you drop it down into the storage compartment. That is so cool. Never seen that before either. Wow. You know, we didn't think we were going to like a floor plan better than the floor plan in the first unit or the floor plan we have in our Wayfarer. This is really neat because a lot of people like this twin bed setup in the back, and we do too, especially with the ability to turn it into a massive bed. And the mattress is so thick that you wouldn't need a memory foam or anything like that. All you need is your sheets and you're ready to go. So yeah, this is just a really brilliantly designed RV. It's something we've never seen before. If you're in the market for a compact Class C, you want to definitely make sure you come and check out this particular model because it's awesome. Very impressed with these units from Grand Design. They're relatively new to the game and they're coming out firing with all these great designs. Love to see it. Love to see innovation in the RV world. If you enjoyed that video and that look at these Grand Design compact Class Cs, please consider subscribing because it really helps us out. And if you do, make sure you ring that bell for notifications so you'll be told every time we post a new video. Also, those thumbs up, those likes really help support the channel. They're perfectly free to set up an account, and we would love to have that because we could use all the help we can get. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram too. All right, we'll see you in the next video.